Get back. You are not free-range chickens. Go on, get back. Get back. So this has been an unproductive day, which is fine. That's going to happen every once in a while. I was at church late, and then when I got back, I just kind of crashed for a little while. So I haven't checked on the chickens yet. And when I came, I couldn't find half of them. And I'm like, oh my God, did they get eaten? What happened to them? Well, they were all almost all the way up here to the garden. So I really have to get a hustle on this. I think they're just about big enough that all of them except Henry, who's the little tiny brown one that takes me forever to chase around, will be able to stay inside the fence. So that's going to be tomorrow's project, I guess. I'm going to get that door on. The problem is I have a couple of trees in the area that I want to use as their run that I haven't had a chance to move yet. And I don't really want to move them right now. Well, it doesn't look like there's anything in the trap. So I don't know. I could set the fence in such a way that it's not including that section. I'll just have to play with it and try and figure it out. All right, I'm just checking the critter trap, and it needs restocking. Let me pull something out of the garden. I haven't had anything new since the raccoons, which, I mean, disappointing, but I've also managed to start getting a little bit of produce out of the garden. So hopefully that means that it was the raccoons that were doing all that eating and not the groundhog. Because if it's not the groundhog, I'll just leave him be. I only want to get rid of him because he's eating my produce. There we go. And if my produce isn't getting eaten, then he's perfectly welcome to stay. All right, I've just got a little head of lettuce. And I'll just throw that in the back there. If this doesn't work tonight, tomorrow I'll move the trap to the other end of the shed. What he's doing is there's a hole over on the other side of the creek just past the beehives. So he kind of goes in one end and out the other. So if I can't catch him on this side, I may catch him on the other side because it's in his run to his hole. So that'll be for tomorrow. Tonight, I've just got to take the trash out and I think just take the trash out. I've been working on beef stock since last night. I'll let that cook overnight and chill tomorrow. So that'll probably be Tuesday's project, is getting that all canned up. So even though this is kind of a dud of a day, it's setting up for what I hope will be a productive week. Because if we can get the chicken coop done, at least to a point where I can put up a partial fence and get them out of the tractor since they don't want to stay in there, then that'll be better for everybody. So I'm going to sign off on that today, and we will get work done tomorrow. All right, we've got another day where it's in the 70s in the morning and just lovely. And by 11 o'clock, it's going to feel like it's in the 90s. So I am going to try and squeeze out some quick work this morning on the chicken coop, and we'll see what I can get done this afternoon. I did an experiment. My neighbor had given me some electric netting, and I just wanted to see how the chickens respect it. Well, they don't respect it at all because they fit through the holes. They just kind of duck their little heads and through they go. The netting that I have is designed for poultry, so the gaps are smaller at the bottom. So the quicker I can get this done and set up, the quicker I can keep the chickens in. I don't know if I don't remember if I told you last night, they were going all the way up the hill and into this area. So I can't have that. I can't be chasing them all over the property, and I don't want them getting used to the idea that they can basically be free rangers, because they're not going to be free rangers. That's not what I want. That I need to protect the garden, I need to protect the chickens, because I don't want them getting out in the road. I can't tell you the number of places that I've driven by and almost run over somebody's chickens because they were just let out to free range and ended up in the street. So I'm going to mark the chicken door this morning so I can get a better estimate on how high to cut the linoleum. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a bunch of linoleum strips that are about a foot tall, and then come back later or tomorrow morning and put them up. Rather than try and do it all today, I don't have enough time this morning, the joys of being employed. So let's see how much we can get done as quickly as we can. This is an electric door. I just got this one off of Amazon. There are a dozen different varieties. Some are better than others. This one I've heard good reviews on. It's the Run Chicken electric door. It has a solar panel built right in, so it powers itself. And what this is going to do is open itself up in the morning as soon as the sun comes up, and then it'll close itself again at night as soon as the sun goes down. Well, 20 minutes after the sun goes down. So this way I don't have to get up to let the chickens in and out. I'll come out and check on them, obviously, make sure they have their food and water, but then they can be out when they want to be out, but also be in safe, even if I've got a meeting in town, or I'm taking a class or anything like that, where I might not be on farm at the time they are ready to be going to bed. And fortunately, I mean, this one is really easy. I've seen ones where you had to wire in the solar panel, and I was dreading that. But this one has it built right in, so I don't have to do any wiring at all. All I have to do is cut that hole out that I just drew, and then screw this plate onto the outside of the coop. So it'll charge up properly, and then it'll open and close. And that's all I have to do for that. I'm not going to cut the hole right now and do the install. I don't really want to do the install until I'm ready to move the chickens over, because I don't want it opening and closing right now, because I don't want other critters getting in during the day when the girls aren't in here. And I also wanted to make sure there wasn't going to be an issue with overlapping it with the linoleum. But it looks like the hole is just perfect to give me that 1 foot gap that I wanted. So I'm going to now cut linoleum strips and see how many I need to be able to cover the whole area. All right. Alright, it's not a lot, but it's progress. So I got 3 strips cut, which if I don't cut down the side that we left the flap up on the where the egg boxes are, that'll be more than enough to cover all those sides. But if I am thinking I'm going to cut that down so I have a cleanish line and then join that with silicone as well. But I don't have to decide that right now, because that was half an hour's work and I'm already just dripping. It's only 72 degrees, but the humidity is just unrelenting. The chickens have decided that since I opened the inner fence, the outer fence, they don't have to pay any attention to, and they're all out in the hedge. And the next thing I know, they're all going to be down the embankment and heading off to the creek. Could you idiots get back in your coop, please? Go on. Get. So we have another heat warning today, starting at noon, going until tonight, and that's been about how it is. The mornings are lovely. It's just very nice out right now, but by about 10 o'clock the humidity is so bad that even an 80-degree day just feels like death. So I'm gonna bang out what I can as quick as I can. I'm gonna get screws for the linoleum in the shed, so I'm not gonna work on that this morning. So I'm gonna work on getting another section of path done. I can do that in just about half an hour, which is about what I have before I need to be back to work, or need to be at work for the morning. So let's see how quickly we can bang this out. What are you doing? last little bit's going to have to wait till later. It is 68 degrees, and you can tell how humid it is just by how sweaty I am. So I'm done working for today. I've got some indoor stuff that I've got to do, and I'll probably take you along for some of that. I spent all night last night working on a super secret knitting project, so that I'm not going to show you right now. I'll show you after I gift it. But so I'm gonna haul this stuff back down to the yard and get to work. It's going to be another melter of a day. It's supposed to feel like the mid-90s by lunchtime. I'm so glad I moved to New York. The only big difference today is that we are supposed to start getting the remnants of Hurricane Beryl today. So starting around 9 o'clock off and on all day, we have like a 50 to 60% chance of heavy rain, which that will be a good thing. I will be very glad to have that. But either way, I'm not going to get a lot of work done today, so I'm going to knock out what I can right now. And what I can is I got some screws at the hardware store last night. Oop, let me get them just one second. There we go. These are self-drilling lath screws, and I really like them because the heads are very large compared to the shaft of the screw, so I think it will hold the linoleum to the wall better. The only thing I'm not sure about is if that self-drilling part will actually work on wood and linoleum. These are designed to go through the wire mesh that goes on walls for putting stucco up. So I'm hoping they're going to work, but I'm going to test them out and see. Alright, so there's the first pass done. I still need to wrap the support posts, and I have to fix the gap on the one wall, which won't be hard. It's just cutting another piece of linoleum and tucking it up under there and re-screwing it down. So that won't be too much of a challenge. We had tried leaving a lip there, but it was too short to screw into, but too long to tuck around, so it wasn't working well. So I had to cut it down, and that just made an extra step. But I learned a lot while I was working on that, so I think the next part will go a little faster because I know what I'm doing better. And I'm really pleased with how it's looking. I think that's going to be really easy to clean out, and will make a decent home for the chickens. I do still need to put some extra ventilation in there because boy howdy, it's warm in there already. But in the meantime, the chickens are having fun wandering around the yard, and we'll see where they end up today. They scared the hell out of me yesterday because I came out to check on them and half of them were gone and I couldn't find them anywhere. I'm looking down the embankment, I'm looking in the wood pile. They were all tucked in under the gout weed in the hedgerow there. And so I couldn't see them under the weeds. I'm like, okay, as long as you guys are cool and comfy, I'm not going to fight with you. Hopefully they'll be happier and more likely to stay put once I get their run set up. But all right, I've got to get on with my day. We'll see what the weather brings. Maybe it'll cool off enough for me to finish that up this afternoon, but I'm not counting on it.